Hi, I'm Nate.
And I'm Emily.
And this is our dog Nash.
Together we started our own business called the Silver Nash Workshop. We build custom ordered wood projects for customers all over the U.S.
I build the projects.
And I build the business.
Follow us on our journey of starting our business while working full-time jobs.
And being in law school.
Hi there, and welcome back to Silver Nash Workshop. As you can see by my attire here, it's starting to get cold here in Michigan. With that being said, I needed to make something nice and warm for Nash. He's been laying on the floor, kind of been feeling bad for the poor guy. He's starting to shiver a little bit. So I decided to make something for Nash that would keep him off the cold cement, give him a nice cushion, warm spot to lay in while he's in here, and just enjoy himself and relax. So what I want to teach you guys here is how to make this bed for your dog. It doesn't have to be this size, it doesn't have to be this style, but it's super easy, and I hope that you guys can follow along with me in this journey. All you're gonna need is a piece of 1.5 inch angle iron that you can get at Lowe's, Menards, Ace for the legs. You're gonna need a couple 2x6s that also you can get at one of those box stores. And you're just gonna need I just had some scrap 1/2 inch plywood laying around the shop, so I use this, but you can get 1/2 inch plywood pretty much anywhere you go. So other than that, that's all you really need. A couple screws, a couple carriage bolts, and if you want to stain it, do anything you want to do, the choice is yours. As you can see, I kind of stained, or I kind of did mine, decorated to fit Nash or the rustic kind of vibe of the shop. I chose not to use any stain. Not that it's super toxic to animals, but you can never be too cautious when it comes to your furry pals here. I burned it with a torch, and as you can see on the front side of things, I ended up burning it with my laser. If you want to see that work or that in action, check out my earlier videos. I have a 101 Laser Master video on how that thing operates. But follow along with me on this journey, and we'll see you on the other side.
I start off this build like all other builds, by putting my ideas that I have in my head on paper. I start off by cutting the floor size of my bed. I use 2x6 boards at the length of 37.5 inches for 2 of them, and 27 inches for the other 2 that will make up the sides. I set my table saw at a 1/2 inch high to cut my rabbet out of the bottom of the 2x6. This will allow the floor of the bed to sit flush with the bottom of the 2x6s when put together. Because I'm using angle iron for the legs, I want them to sit flush with the wood so no burrs or sharp edges are exposed that could potentially harm Nash. I set the table saw height to the angle iron height and cut a notch in each side and each end of the board. I use a hammer and a chisel to clean up the notches in the wood the saw has missed. I use a bandsaw to cut the cutaway on the front piece. This step is not necessary, but I feel it adds character to the finished product. Because this product is made for a dog that likes to get into things, I chose not to use a chemical stain on the product. However, torching the wood gives it a nice rustic look that everyone can appreciate. A quick sanding blends the burns together to give it that rustic, aged look. I put the bed together using glue and pocket holes. The combination gives it near indestructible strength. I use half-inch plywood for the floor of the bed. I cut the plywood to 35 inches by 28 inches. This allows it to fit perfectly into my rabbit grooves on the base of the bed. I nailed the floor down using my 16 gauge nailer and using glue underneath to hold everything steady. I cut half-inch holes in the floor to allow ventilation. This allows airflow under the bed to keep Nash cool in the summertime. I used 2-inch angle iron I got from the store. I cut the angle iron to 8-inch sections and I use these for the legs of the bed. If you notice I'm doing this outside, it's not that I fear the sparks will cause a fire, but I don't want to take any chances. I round off the corners and grind down any burrs that are left. I drill the holes where the carriage bolts will go. You can do this with a normal drill, however I'm lucky to have a drill press and utilize this.
to say thanks for joining me today. As you can see, we're up in my Silver Nash attire, my hat, my sweatshirt. We've got other hats, other articles of clothing that goes to help support the channel and help support the business here. I want to thank you guys for sticking along here and watching the video. Like and subscribe. You know, if you have any tips, suggestions, anything like that, comment below. Check out our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok. We just started that. Trying to get into that social media side of things so you guys can see what's actually happening inside the shop. We are excited to show you guys everything that we're doing. So with that, you guys have a great day. We'll catch you at the next video.